This is your Wish Upon a Star lunar horoscope for Monday, December 14th, 2020. The new moon occurs while transiting the 21st mansion of the moon, and that's at 4:17 p.m. We're using Universal Time Coordinated and Tropical Astrology. Now, Luna's activation of lunar mansion number 21 during a new moon at 0% light is potent for completing receptive magic spells while beginning plans for projective magic rituals. The mansion of the moon, number 21, is in effect from the morning of December 14, 2020, and that's at 6:27 a.m. until the morning of December 15th, 2020, and that's at 3:34 a.m. With the new moon occurring in Sagittarius at 4:17 p.m., Lunar Mansion 21 is magically activated at the exact time of the new moon. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. I'm a Rosicrucian seer, biblical astrologer, Christian psychic, and Gnostic mystic. And this is a Readings by Rosemary angelic transmission. The Astrology Angel magical invocations and horoscope prediction method, which we teach, it should be used with all mindfulness, since very powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Now, Luna will be in Sagittarius, and it's going to be at 17 degrees, 8 minutes, 34 seconds, moving into Capricorn at 0 degrees, 0 minutes, according to Abraham. Now, the star to wish upon inside the 21st mansion of the moon, which is called Albaldah, according to Warnock, that's the mansion that is, again, number 21. Warnock calls it Albaldah. The star to wish upon is also named Albaldah, and that's according to Ptolemy. Now, Albaldah is Arabic, and it translates into the city, being the city one wishes to conquer. And again, this is according to Warnock's revelations and his disclosures about from his sources, what he has written. Yeah, and Warnock spells the name of the indicator star as Albaldah, B-A-H-D-A-H, instead of Baldah, B-A-L-D-A-H, rather than, again, Albaldah. So just understand that. Now, most of the varying references which we checked use the name Albaldah for this star, which is called Pi Sagittarii. And ask the angel, okay, this is how you do magic. Ask the angel, star magic, ask the angel of Pi Sagittarii, who is named Bethnael, to depopulate and destroy a specific place considered evil by your people. That's what this is used for, okay? And again, this is Pi Sagittarii. Now, Agrippa indicates that to cause one's intentions to manifest in physical reality, the following emblems or icons should be created and utilized during Mansion of the Moon number 21. Now, the sorceresses and sorcerers use representations of secure roads and journeys through villages and towns. That's one thing you can make an image of and make happen or manifest during Lunar Mansion number 21. This is according to Agrippa, okay? Now, also, you can make representations or images of the fortifying of edifices or structures. Also, the reaping of rich harvests and rich rewards and abundance. Also, well-maintaining financial rewards, the maintaining of financial rewards. Or to separate women from their established committed relationships, to cause divorce or break people up. Now, this mansion's main rendering, the main icon that is used down through the ages for mansion number 21 is the image of a two-faced man, yeah? A man having two faces, with one looking one way and the other looking the other way, okay? And where Warnock describes this mansion's name as Albaldah, the name of the mansion, the star he names Albaldah, but the mansion he names Albaldah, and details that this two-faced image will obliterate a city. Agrippa reveals that the name Albaldah is used in some cultures or Albaldah, as utilized in other traditions. Oh, and I have a blog where you can see how it's spelled and all that in the description box. And Agrippa has these other names that he discloses as being used for signifying Lunar's transit of this mansion, Albaldah. He calls it again Albaldah or Albaldah, okay? And he says that Agrippa says to use this image of this two-faced man, the man with two faces, one looking one way, one looking the other way, that is used to devastate a person and to cause hurt. Now, Agrippa calls this mansion defeat rather than the city, as described by Warnock. So, and just keep in mind that this image of this statue or image or picture or rendering or sculpture of a man, one face looking one way, one face looking the other way, that's the Roman god Janus. The Roman god Janus, where we get January from, because you're looking ahead and you're looking behind. That's where you get Santa Claus and Old Father Time and the young baby being born at New Year's. That's from the god Janus. It's the same exact thing. Okay, now, according to Kabbalistic lore, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, while Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Sagittarius birthstone is turquoise, with Capricorn birthstone being garnet. Now, we said that because Albaldah, that mansion, it goes from, we had mentioned, from 17 degrees Sagittarius to 0 degrees Capricorn. So what you want to understand is that the new moon, when it happens, will still be in the Sagittarian portion, okay, of the mansion. Therefore, you would want to use the Sagittarius attribute to the Sagittarius qualities that we are giving you. Now, rosaries and amulets using turquoise for Sagittarius are magically potent for this praxis. Kabbalistic and alchemical planetary associations in this instance of a new moon in Sagittarius the Archer whilst transiting through lunar mansion number 21 could be utilized with perfumes, essential oils, herbs, or flowers, as well as colors. The planetary alchemical metal in this case would indicate tin for Jupiter. Tin is both realistic and workable for this operation. Because remember, Jupiter, the alchemical metal for Sagittarius is tin, because Sagittarius is associated with Jupiter and Jupiter is associated with tin, okay? So tin is both realistic and workable as the alchemical metal for this operation. Now, Agrippa also mentions that for Mansion of the Moon number 21, the ancients traditionally scented the statue or the picture of a man with two faces, one looking to the future, one looking towards the past, with brimstone, which is sulfur, and jet, which is similar to coal, though it can be cut and polished and is more resilient than coal and less chalky. Now, that's jet, okay? They then placed the rendering into a square or rectangular container formed of brass, along with the aromatic substances of brimstone and jet or sulfur, and this sort of hardened coal, as well as the hair of the man whom they intended to injure. Okay? Now, Agrippa gives us this information. Okay? Now, Agrippa also indicates that the representation of a two-faced man is actually a rendering, again, of the Roman god of comings and goings named Janus. So Agrippa does give us this information. Now, it's important to note here that according to Vivian Irwood Robson, author of the book The Fixed Stars and Constellations in Astrology, the Greek astronomer Ptolemy does not give a precise planetary attribute to the star Albaldah, which is located specifically on the backside of Sagittarian's, the Archer's head. Okay, so the star Albaldah, which both, all the sources call the, well, never mind. They have different names. I don't want you to get confused, because Albaldah is the name of the star in some cases, and the name of the mansion in some cases. But you understand what we're talking about. We're talking now about the star Albaldah, that is an indicator star, according to Warnock, of this 21st mansion of Albaldah. Okay. So, and please understand, to make it even more confusing, that some you might find some readings where some other cultures might have a different number, but we've given you our sources, okay? So we want to say that 10 is what you can use for Jupiter, okay? For the metal. Now, for the amulet or the rosary chain, okay? And you can use turquoise for the beads of the rosary, okay? Or the amulet stone. Turquoise, because for Sagittarius, okay? Now, with that said, this is very important. So listen to this. It's very important. Ptolemy mentions that the waist and the back are attributed to the planets of Jupiter and somewhat to Mercury in regards to the planetary nature of this area of the constellation of Sagittarius. Alas, Ptolemy does not specifically disclose the planetary traits of the head, nor specifically the back of the head. Sometimes Ptolemy does, and you can use a very specific metal. In this case, he does not, he does not give us something specifically for the back of the head, okay, of the archer. But Ptolemy does, nevertheless, assign varying planetary characteristics to some of the other portions of the body of the Sagittarius, his bow and his arrow. Most of them, the planetary natures, include the planet Jupiter, okay, which is traditionally assigned by Kabbalists to the constellation of Sagittarius anyway. So 10 is probably your best bet in this specific instance of lunar mansion number 21, okay? Now, again, the back and the waist are attributed, according to Ptolemy, to Jupiter and Mercury. But since it's not specifically the back of the head, I would stick with Jupiter and tin in this case and not go with Mercury. That's what I would do if I have my druthers, okay, in this specific instance. Now, there are sometimes, again, when we're going to have to give you something extremely specific for what portion of the constellation. And you'll find that that the general one is usually pretty good, but these specific ones really pack it with a punch, yeah? Now, other Kabbalistic correspondences for lunar mansion number 21 are as follows. The moon in Sagittarius or Luna in Sagittarius individuals. Now, Luna gives the archer native a happy-go-lucky, adventurous quality, as well as an abundance of vim and vigor. And also, the zodiac angel for Sagittarius is Adnachiel, whose divine tone is I perceive. I perceive. The tarot card for Luna, or the moon, is the High Priestess. Okay? And this is the High Priestess card here with the pillar of Joachim and Boaz, and her receiving receptive lunar frequencies and the watery aspect. You also have the cross representing the 4 quarters of the moon, and you have her triple goddess crown with the 4th quarter behind her as the new moon, and you have the pomegranates, and you have the water flowing. So you have the twin pillars of Joachim and Boaz, the twin pillars of the temple. Okay, the temple, the holy sacred temple in Israel, right? The sacred temple. Okay, now the musical note in the ancient Western array for the moon or Luna is F. Okay, so we're going to play that with our tuning fork for you now. This is F4. It is for the moon or Luna. That is for the moon, F. Now, the card for Sagittarius the archer is Temperance. We have the Temperance card. We have the angel with 1 foot on the land and 1 foot in the water. We have the angel transferring the water from one cup to the other. You see? That is Temperance, okay? That is Temperance for Sagittarius the archer. And the musical note in the ancient Western array for Sagittarius is also F. I'm going to play that for you now. That is F4, Sagittarius the archer, okay? The musical note to invoke the energy. Now, the information found in this document is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by a Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I've committed to memory. And again, in the description box is our blog if you want to see how some of these things are spelled. And we also have all of our exact pages and books that we utilized, our reference books. But we're going to give you the reference books, just tell you briefly. The first reference is Mansion of the Moon. Mansions of the Moon, and that's a lunar zodiac for astrology and Magick second edition with two. It's the 2019 and 2033 Mansion Ephemeris, and that's by Christopher Warnock. Okay, and also, and you get the exact page numbers if you go to the look at our blog in the description box. Also, for Agrippa, we used 3 books of occult philosophy, Llewellyn's source book series, authored by Henry Cornelius Agrippa, and that's translated by James Freak, and that's edited and annotated by Donald Tyson. I have a lot of Donald Tyson's books. 1993, published in 2000 by Llewellyn Publications. And The Fixed Stars and Constellations in Astrology, authored by Vivian E. Robson, Bachelor of Science, also published by American Federation of Astrologers, Inc. The cover designed by Jack Kipola. That was for the information on those very specific positions of the specific mansion's star, okay? A very specific astronomy and what they call a manzil, or a mansion, or a place, or a house, or a house, or a mansion, or a place, or a room, okay? Okay. Thank you, Anne, for joining us, and join us again next time.